I'm Dan Hollingsworth. Today we're going to make one of my favorites, breaded chicken cutlets. It's a super versatile food. You can just serve it with a starch and a vegetable and make a meal. You can put it with sauce and a little bit of mozzarella cheese on top, bake it, and serve it with some pasta. You have chicken parmesan. You can cut it up, put it on top of a salad. Makes an excellent protein for a salad. Or, one of my favorites, you can put it with a waffle, put a little sausage gravy on it, have chicken and waffles. So, there's so many things you can do with a breaded chicken cutlet. Today we're going to learn how. It's super easy. A couple steps, and you got to use a little bit of frying, but otherwise it's pretty easy. So, here we go. Okay, first thing we're going to do, we've got our chicken, and we're going to take it, we just patted it dry, and we're going to put it on this cutting board. Now you see I put a non-porous on my cutting board just to protect it. Keeps things a little bit cleaner. What we're going to do, we're going to take, I have 3 chicken breasts. We're going to make them into 6. We're going to pound them up, but first we're going to make them a little bit thin slice. So we're going to put our hand on, and the most important thing is if you start this with 10 fingers, you want to end this with 10 fingers. So be very careful. We're just going to cut. I'm just going to go nice and easy. Voila. We've got 2 thin sliced breasts. I'm going to trim a little bit of stuff off. Nothing major. Just going to cut this little tail off. Put that there. Okay, so we've got all of our chicken breasts trimmed. Next, we're going to pound them down a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to transfer a couple of these over here. I'm going to cover it with this just to keep things somewhat sanitary. Got my brand new chicken mallet from Amazon. And what we're going to do is we're just going to give it a little bit of pounding just to really flatten it out. I'm kind of smashing and pushing away a little bit to the outside. Well, don't want to put any holes in the chicken. You want to make it nice and uniformly thin. Okay. Put these guys back here. Chicken cutlets, and they are ready to move on to the next step, which is to get them breaded. So we'll do that step next. Next step for the breaded chicken cutlets, we're actually going to do the breading. So what I have here, I have about 1.5 cups of flour. I have 2 eggs beaten, and then I have a breadcrumb mix with about 2 cups of breadcrumbs, 1 cup of Parmesan cheese, and then a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper, and just mixed all together. Okay, so the breading process goes like this. We're going to dip the cutlet. I guess it's still just a chicken breast, not a cutlet yet. It has to be breaded. So we're going to dip it in flour, get it nicely coated. Now, I'm using a fork, so my hands don't get messy, but it's a little bit easier if you just use your hands. Okay, so we're coated there. Now we're going to go into the egg. Same thing, we want nicely coated. Okay. And then from there, into our breadcrumb mix. And the same thing. We want it nicely coated. We want our coating to stick. And just lay it there. Okay, so we're going to do these with all of our chicken cutlets. Or chicken breasts. So you see we have 6 nicely breaded chicken cutlets, and now we'll be ready to fry them up a little bit and then put them in the oven. Okay, so now we're at the point where we're going to start frying up the chicken breasts. I've got the burner on medium-high and about a centimeter of olive oil in the pan, and we're just going to gently put the chicken breasts into the pan, and you see it starts to cook immediately. We're going to cook these for about 2 to 3 minutes per side, really just to get them browned, and then we're going to put them on this baking rack. I have a little grate that just kind of holds them up and allows the air to circulate around them, so you get a better even cook. But if you don't have that, a regular baking pan is fine. Now, I like to bake the chicken. I did make the chicken breasts a little bit thicker. Some people like them very thin. And if that's the case, you can pretty much cook and finish in the pan. You just want to make sure that the internal temperature of the chicken is 165 degrees before you serve and eat it, because that means it's cooked. So you may also find that you need to cook it a little bit longer on each side if you're not going to bake it. But with these, since the chicken is about, half an inch or so in thickness, what I'll do is cook it on the stovetop, fry it in the oil, and then transfer it to the baking sheet, cook it in the oven for about 15 minutes or so, until the temperature gets to about 165 degrees internally. Okay, so our last chicken breast is done. We're gonna turn the stove off, move the pan out of the way, and I'm gonna show you, move dirty dishes out of the way. So now the chicken's done, and all we need to do is put it in the oven. You can see how I have it arranged so that they're not crowded on the baking sheet. And we're gonna stick these in the oven at 350 degrees. Please make sure you preheated the oven, and we'll check them out when they're done in about 15 minutes. Okay, our chicken is out of the oven. We want to make sure it's cooked to an internal temperature of at least 165 degrees, which this is. Now all we have to do is put it on the plate. All right, and here we have it, breaded chicken cutlets. Very easy to make, didn't take long, and they are going to be delicious with whatever we decide to serve them with tonight. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please make sure you hit the like button and click on subscribe for more videos about cooking and whatever else I feel like making at the time. So this has been Half-Pint Cooking. My name's Dan Hollingsworth. Please make sure that you eat what you enjoy and enjoy what you eat. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.